power out of those engines for a reasonable amount of money, and they just couldn't make it make sense. So guys, unfortunately, you ScatPack folks, you RT folks out there, no stage kits are coming for you guys. So a little bit of a bummer there.
You heard it there, Racer X, man. He just articulated that based on his conversations with Direct Connection and actually speaking with them directly, ScatPack 392 RT guys, Charger and Challenger both, all trims, Daytona, TA 392, wide body 392, SRT 392. There will be no Direct Connection stage kits coming for that engine or for those engines, unfortunately. I think we all suspected that that was going to be the case. I mean, we're getting a little late in the year at this point. It's August. Next week will be September. And then, of course, at the end of the year, they're supposed to stop production on these engines altogether. It's something to be expected, guys. Unfortunately, there will be no stage kits for the 392 engine, which basically means the ScatPack that you have right now, as far as the power is concerned, is pretty much what you're stuck with because no help is coming from Dodge. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So you can tell I'm in a car that makes this a car vlog. You already know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So you heard it here. Shout out to Racer X, man. I'm a huge fan of his channel, man. I've been watching him for quite some time, man. I enjoy his content, seriously, man. We've talked a couple times on Instagram. He just dropped some heavy news on the Mopar community, man. If there's one thing that I have always been, as far as the 392 stage kits are concerned, was optimistic. And the reason I say that is because I don't know if you guys remember this list that Dodge dropped probably 2 years ago when they were introducing the stage kits, but they included all 6.4s and up. So that basically told consumers, you and I, that from ScatPacks to Demons, they were going to be doing power upgrades that they were going to install themselves, warranty out, and everything's going to come through Dodge in a Direct Connection program. That's what we thought. If you look at the list here, Challenger RT ScatPack, we were supposed to be getting the pre-stage, the stage 1 and the stage 2. As you can see, it said under development as far as the horsepower is concerned. The launch was to be determined. Nobody knew. Obviously, the Challenger Hellcat Red Eye Superstock Demon Charger ScatPack. This was going to be the RT 392 pre-stage, RT 392 stage 1, RT stage 2. Of course, the horsepower under development and the launch was going to be determined. The Hellcat and the Hellcat Red Eye, obviously, those are coming out as well. Towards the end of this month, believe it or not. And I got a surprise for you guys. I'm gonna keep my lips sealed on that. But yeah, we were expecting Dodge to essentially upgrade the power on the ScatPacks. We were expecting the 485 horsepower naturally aspirated 6.4 liter Hemi to give us more. I mean, a lot of you guys have already stressed that you wanted more from these engines, rightfully so. I understand that. The RT, I'm not sure why Racer X mentioned the 5.7. I don't think at any point that Direct Connection claimed that they were going to do anything for the 5.7. I could be mistaken, but going off of the list, to my understanding, it was RT ScatPack and up. I could be mistaken. If that's the case, then obviously, but I don't think they ever claimed that they were going to do anything for the 5.7. So specifically for the 392, they did say that they were going to give us a pre-stage, a stage 1 and a stage 2. Apparently that's not the case. We're getting so late in the year at this point that it doesn't make sense for them to come out with that stage kit at this point. I mean, considering, to my understanding, all of their development has gone into the Hellcat platforms, the Red Eye, the Hellcat, and then of course the Demon, you know. And I think the ScatPack kind of fell under the radar, off the radar rather. Not to mention, from everything that I've heard from ScatPack mechanics, ScatPack owners, these engines, or the ScatPack engine specifically, has been tapped out as far as the power is concerned. And I say that to say, Dodge has optimized the 6.4 Hemi to produce as much power as that engine can. Like, you guys are familiar with like Mustang 5.0s, right? To my understanding, Mustang 5.0s, I mean, there's all sorts of customizing that can be done to that engine to produce power. You know, even the simplest of things is going to give you some sort of noticeable power upgrade or increase, right? With the 6.4, however, that's a little different. Just because of how tapped out that engine is already from the factory, a lot of the upgrades that a lot of people do to those engines, whether it's cold air intake, 180-degree thermostat, even just small things, oil catch can, things of that sort, those things really don't bring any sort of power to that engine, any sort of noticeable power. You might get 5, 6, 7 horsepower. That's negligent. That's not the kind of power that's going to make a difference between you and a, I don't know, a 5.0 Mustang, or you and a SS Camaro. Like, you're not going to see that. That's not really something that you're going to see to the wheel, you know. And in order to get power from that 6.4 engine, from what I've seen, that's going to cost you big money. And at that point, we're talking total reconstruction of the engine altogether. We're talking anywhere between $5 to $10 to $30,000+ in order to see some big power out of that engine. I've got a friend that I know that's on the car scene. He's got a 1,000 horsepower Challenger ScatPack, SRT, I think it is, SRT 392. And he's put almost, according to him, he's put almost $70,000 in that engine to get it to 1,000 horsepower. Right now, of course, from 485 to 1,000, that's what I mean, double the power at that point. I understand that, but at the same time, to go from 707 or 797 or 807 to 1,000 horsepower, in other words, to go from a Hellcat numbers to 1,000 horsepower, is significantly smaller of a jump and significantly cheaper of a jump. Which is why Dodge can come out with these stage kits, which is basically tunes, new air filters, new thermostat, things of that sort. They can come out with these stage kits, and each one of the stage kits are under $10,000 a piece. And you can see significant power from these engines simply because they're optimized to receive that kind of power. Like, there's still room to play when it comes to those engines, as opposed to the 6.4 and obviously the 5.7. Those engines have been stretched and optimized as much as possible. Like, you just can't squeeze any more out of that. You know what I'm saying? It's the equivalent of having a lemon that's already been squeezed till it's dry. Like, it's just nothing more that you can do. You can do small things to it, little ticky-tacky upgrades, things of that sort. You might see 3 to 5 horsepower, 5 to 10 horsepower, but it's negligent in relation to the amount of money that you're spending, simply because in order to see true power out of those 6.4 engines, and I'm not a mechanic by any means, you guys know that, but in order to see true power, you really got to put some money under the hood of that car. And it wouldn't make sense for Dodge to offer pre-stage, stage 1 and stage 2 for Hellcats, Red Eyes, and Demons that are all under $10,000. And then in order to get a ScatPack to some significant power, that, you know, stage kit is, I don't know, 10,000 starting out, 20, 13,000, something wild. So it's one of those things where I think Dodge was a little overly ambitious with the 392 package, and it seems that they're going to scrap it, because I don't know of anybody that has heard anything definitively speaking to the 392 that, you know, the stage kit is going to come out. I haven't heard anything. And hearing Racer X confirm it, given the fact that I believe that he has actually spoken to Direct Connection directly, it seems to me that that's going to be one of those things that Dodge is just going to quietly phase out. Right? They're going to give you the Hellcat, the Red Eye, and the Demon, and hope that we forget that they were promising a 392. So it looks like there will be no stage kits for the 392, guys. And, you know, I advocated for holding on to the 392 because in hopes of stage kits taking that power to another level, because a lot of you guys articulated that you love your ScatPack. Obviously, you love your monthly payment. You like where your car is right now. You just want more power. But you want more power without having to go and buy a whole new damn car. In other words, upgrading to a Hellcat, which I get. So in my previous videos, I advocated, you know, holding on to your Scat and waiting for that Direct Connection program to drop, and hopefully that 485 would turn into 600 or 620 or 630 after pre-stage, stage 1 and stage 2. That may have been a little overly, once again, optimistic as far as the power is concerned, but still, it was going to do more power than the 485 that we have come to know and love from the Scat. Well, apparently Dodge is scrapping that altogether. So in other words, if you want more power out of your car, you're going to have to take your car down to Hose A and Hose B and have them take care of it. You know, you're not going to get that warranty work from Dodge. You're not going to get that Mopar official product from Dodge, unfortunately, for the 392s. Obviously, you can make as much power out of those engines as you want. I've seen twin turbo 392 engines. I know one guy right now that he's putting down like 1,100 horsepower on his SRT 392. It was a SRT 392. It's a 426 at this point, but even prior to him taking it to that level, he was still getting a significant amount of power out of that 392 engine, but he had to put money into it. He told me he's put almost $55,000 into that engine. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you were to take that 55 and put it into a Hellcat, well, for one, you wouldn't need all that money. But if you were to, like, you're putting down $1,200-1,300, you know. So it's one of those things where I think Dodge just looked at it from a cost-effective perspective and came to the conclusion that it just doesn't make sense for us to come out with these kits because it's just going to be too much money. In order to get some kind of significant power out of that engine, it's going to cost the consumer too much money. It's going to cost Dodge too much money. And a lot of people are going to look at it and say, if you're going to put $20,000 into a Scat, you might as well take that money and put that as a down payment on a Hellcat and start out with 717 or 807. You know what I'm saying? And I think Dodge is looking at it that way too. If you want to make your Scat more powerful and you want Dodge to do it, just get a Hellcat. So I've had people email me and say that Dodge was working on 392 stage kits. I've had 2 or 3 people email me and tell me that. I'm not sure how true that is at this point. Like I said, we're at the end of August. September is next week, if I'm not mistaken. So time's ticking. As far as them coming out with brand new stage kits for all 3 engines, and I say that to say the Red Eye, the Hellcat, and then the ScatPack within the next, 4 months or something like that, 4 or 5 months, I don't know how that's going to work. But at this point, according to Racer X, go check his channel out, check his video out. According to Racer X, it does not look like there will be any stage kits for the 392. So the 392 Hemi that you guys have right now is pretty much what it's going to be forever, at least from Dodge's perspective. Now you can take it to whatever shop you want to and have them tune it and do whatever and make more power, but it won't say Mopar and it won't say Dodge behind it, and it won't say direct connection. So that's the unfortunate news, man. I hate to break it. I thought that Dodge was going to come in clutch and turn all of these engines into monsters, but apparently that's not the case, guys. So talk to your boy, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you guys go check Racer X out and his channel. He's doing big things over there. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.